We're gonna start this project with a medium-sized brush and light brown paint. First, we'll create a large circle closer to the right side of the artwork. Next, we'll paint the rest of the cornucopia outline. Now you can paint the left side in. You can mix dark brown paint and a little bit of black paint and cover the circle. Next, we'll switch to a dark brown paint. We'll add a straight line on both sides of cornucopia. Then we'll outline it on the bottom. Next, you can switch to a large brush and paint in everything below this outline. Next, we'll switch to a medium-sized brush. We'll be adding blue brush strokes in the background. Now you can dip your brush in white paint and fill in white spots between blue brush strokes. After washing and wiping your brush, you can dip it in orange paint and create a large circle in front of cornucopia. Then you can paint it in. Next, you can dip your brush in yellow paint and add 2 yellow ovals for corn. You can paint both of them in using yellow paint. We'll use red paint to add a circle next to a pumpkin. Now you can paint it in. You can use dark brown paint to add arches on the edges of cornucopia. Next, we'll use dark brown paint to add lines connecting top and bottom part of cornucopia. We'll be mixing light brown and yellow paint to add small brush strokes on the edges of the cornucopia. Next, you can add highlights on the upper left side using same paint. Next, we'll add white to the same paint and then we'll use it to add smaller highlights. You can add second layer of light brown if the paint seems too transparent. We'll be adding a little bit of black paint to dark brown to cover center of cornucopia. We'll use the same color to add shadow on the bottom left side. You can add second layer of yellow to cover corn. Next, you can cover pumpkin with second layer of orange. We'll be adding second layer of red to cover an apple. You can dip your brush in brown paint to add a stem for a pumpkin. We'll use a medium-sized brush and purple paint to add grapes. We'll paint many circles next to each other and we'll make sure to have more grapes on the left side and fewer on the right. Next, we'll switch to a small brush to add orange circles on top of the corn. After wiping your brush, you can repeat the same steps, this time using red paint. Now we can switch to dark brown to repeat the same steps. We'll keep using dark brown paint to add lines connecting top and bottom of the pumpkin. We'll add a dark brown stem for an apple. You can add couple light brown brush strokes on top of the pumpkin's stem. Now we'll add couple red brush strokes on the bottom part of the pumpkin. Now you can add second layer of orange on top of the pumpkin to blend the red paint. We'll use a little bit of white paint to add couple highlights on the top part of the pumpkin. We'll highlight an apple by adding a white brush stroke. You can blend white highlight with red paint next to it. We'll use small brush and white paint to highlight each grape. We'll add a small white brush stroke on the upper part of each grape. We'll be using more purple paint to add second layer on grapes. After wiping your brush, you can dip it in white paint and highlight corn. We'll be adding more white highlights on top of cornucopia, pumpkin stem and pumpkin. You can add more highlights to an apple and apple stem. You can use green paint to add grape vines and leaves. We're gonna keep using green paint to add leaves next to the corn. Next, we'll paint wheat. We'll use tip of the brush to make stems thin. Now we'll be adding small yellow brush strokes on both sides of the stem. We'll use tip of the brush to make very thin lines next to wheat. We'll add yellow lines on top of corn leaves. You can add couple beige brush strokes on top. Using tip of your brush and white paint, you can highlight wheat. We'll use dark brown paint to add couple small brush strokes in all the dark spots of Cornucopia. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.